Rumors are running wild that Nintendo will be hosting a Nintendo Direct this week on Wednesday. That is June 21st. And of course, if Nintendo does announce a Nintendo Direct, like any moment at this point, as of the time that I'm recording this video or this upcoming week, of course, we will cover that in full. We will live stream it, all of that good stuff. Predictions, we'll have all of it. So we're going to get to the predictions and what we could see hypothetically if there is a Nintendo Direct this week. But what I want to talk about in this video first and foremost is the rumors of the Nintendo Direct for this week. Where are the sources coming from? Everyone's talking about it online as if it's a done deal, which it could be. We're going to find out very soon. But Nate the Hate, you also have Nintendo Prime, Switch Force, many different places, all independently stating that they've got sources that a Nintendo Direct is happening. So we're going to speak in the hypothetical that it is happening for this week. So we'll get to what we could see. I've made a few videos about secret Nintendo Switch games for 2023, which if you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. But I will be going over some of my new thoughts in terms of what we could see at a Nintendo Direct upcoming here. But before we get into more of this, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell to get all of my videos as soon as they drop, and also make sure you check out our live streams as well. We stream on the channel. We need more of you guys over there on stream, 7 p.m. Eastern time most days. Now let's go ahead and get right back into this. So the Nintendo Direct, could this be the final big Nintendo Direct? Because we still don't know if this is going to be a general Direct, a partner showcase, Direct Mini. I mean, it can be all sorts of things. However, the indication from most people that are reporting is that it's a general Direct. So it's a normal general Direct, a Direct that you would normally see. So if that's the case, then obviously this could be the final big Nintendo Direct. There has been a lot of movement kind of in the shadows, like in the dark alleyways. There's been a lot of movement on the Nintendo Switch 2 in terms of what Nintendo's going to do for that system ramping up for the launch. And I don't see, based off of just all of the indications, Nintendo's software pipeline, all of that, I don't see Nintendo stretching out the Switch 2 or stretching out the Switch in terms of games all the way like through 2024 to 2025 or anything. So I do feel that Nintendo is prepping that announcement for the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called. Let's just the next gen Switch, the next Nintendo system. They're prepping that announcement. I think that this could be the final big Nintendo Direct for the Switch, where they really run down all of the rest of the games that the Switch really has. Now, there still could be some cross-gen stuff. I still think that is on the table. Nintendo is in a very unique position for them. By this time, 6 to 7 years into a system's life, man, that system is dead and buried. It doesn't matter how popular it is. It can be the Nintendo DS to the Nintendo Wii. By the time this year 6, 7 comes up, Nintendo's already moved on to the next system. The Nintendo Switch is obviously something different. They're able, and I think that they will, actually support the Nintendo Switch into the Switch 2 life, very similar to how they supported the Nintendo 3DS into the Nintendo Switch's life, despite saying, hey, it's not really a replacement for it when it comes down to it. With the Switch to the 3DS, it actually was, because a lot of the games that would go to the 3DS ended up going to the Switch. A lot of the Fire Emblems and stuff like that, they just started making those for the Switch. Bravely Default, that was a 3DS game. They started making it for the Switch. So everything just moved over to the Switch. Pokemon games, those weren't really on the home consoles and everything. That moved over to the Switch, right? So I do feel that Nintendo could actually have a little bit of a two-pronged approach with some titles in the first year of the Nintendo Switch 2, and we could see more of those games, or those games can be announced maybe alongside the Nintendo Switch 2 when they decide to get that out there. If they have like a big presentation like they did back in 2017 where they showed off the Nintendo Switch at that one event, it was pretty cool, right? So if they have that. But for this Nintendo Direct, what we could see, what maybe we will see or anything, there's obviously Baten Kaitos. We need to get a date on that. That has been something that I've talked about many times on this channel. There's also Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door rumors as well. People have been talking about that game. There's been F-Zero GX rumors, remasters galore. People have been talking about that game. We had the Kid Icarus Uprising situation with Masahiro Sakurai, and that has been rumored as well. Bandai Namco heavily involved here with multiple titles. And we can't forget the Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War. That remake, that's still a game that Nintendo has or has had in their back pocket, just kind of waiting. So much Fire Emblem goodness engage this year. Obviously, Three Houses a number of years ago, Fire Emblem Three Hopes, Fire Emblem Warriors. Been great for Fire Emblem fans on the Nintendo Switch. But yes, that remake, to me at least, based off of my research, is still a thing, and Nintendo needs to talk about that, or they will talk about it at some point. So I hope we see that at this upcoming Nintendo Direct. There's been rumors about a new 2D Mario game as well, potentially being the final big Mario push for the holiday. There's been rumors about a new Donkey Kong game as well. So those are just off the top of my head some of the games that we could see at this next Nintendo Direct. Now, there's also Pikmin 4. That's obviously a game that we know it's coming out this July. It's going to be pretty cool and everything. And maybe Nintendo shows us a little bit more of everybody want to Switch. Not that a lot of you guys will care, but maybe that's the case. Now, there's still third-party stuff as well. We still need to wait and see what's going on with Deca Police, Professor Layton. These are games that were already announced at a previous Nintendo Direct, and some of them are multi-plat. Deca Police is on PS4 and PS5, but that's still a game that's probably going to do best on Nintendo Switch. Level 5 knows that. That's why they got the reveal for the Nintendo Switch at that last Direct. So still need to see more on that, see what's going on Professor Layton. We have to see Front Mission. There's definitely a number of things that could be shown off at this Direct. I don't think it needs to be a super long Direct, because once again, I do feel that this could be the final, here we go, the swan song-ish type of thing for the Switch. And I know there's going to be pushback in the comment section. You guys are going to say, oh, well, the Switch is still going. Listen, guys, it's going on 7 years. It's already past 6 years. It's going on 7 years. Calendar years, it's already at 7 years, going on 8 years. Like, the Switch is great. It is a overachiever. It has exceeded everyone's expectations except mine, because I knew that it was going to go over 100 million units. But it exceeded everyone's expectations when it comes down to what this system is about, what it does, the game lineup. I think that the Nintendo Switch has the greatest game lineup of all time for Nintendo platforms, and easily one of the greatest game lineups of all time. Arguably, it can say that it does have the greatest lineup of all time. Heck, you can play every single Xenoblade game, with the exception of X, which could be announced at the next Nintendo Direct, on the Nintendo Switch. So it's one of those things, for me at least, I'm saying, hey, I'm full. I went to the all-you-can-eat buffet, the all-you-can-eat video game buffet, and I got so many games here and there and there. Yes, it's missing Star Fox. Yes, it's missing F-Zero when it comes to a new title there. Yes, it's missing some core components that Nintendo's had popular in the past. But when it comes down to it, the Nintendo Switch pretty much has everything a Nintendo fan would want when it comes to games. Now, everything's not perfect. Obviously, they could have done better with some of their sports titles. There was some stuff like 3D Mario All-Stars, that being removed, and whatever the case is, right? There's still that. But overall, if you compare it pound for pound, game for game, compared to Nintendo's previous systems, the Nintendo Switch actually kind of demolishes every other system Nintendo has. Literally, go back and look. Even some of the greats, like the Super Nintendo or the NES, like Nintendo Switch has so many more variety of games. RPG, you guys know me, I'm an RPG guy, but RPGs in particular, the Switch just blows away pretty much every other system, maybe with the exception of the Nintendo DS or some of the handheld systems. Those had some pretty good RPGs, but the volume on the Nintendo Switch and the quality, especially with Xenoblade and Fire Emblem, it just is really incredible. And on top of that, it's gotten a lot of titles that never came to Nintendo platforms before, stuff like Wolfenstein or even like Doom. Doom was on the Super Nintendo back in the day and all that, but for the most part, I think maybe 64 as well. But a lot of stuff that never been recently on the system, stuff like Skyrim that wasn't on the Wii U or anything like that. So it got a lot of these games that never came over, the Outer Worlds, just stuff that you wouldn't expect for Nintendo platforms, and bam, they showed up. So overall, I think the Switch library is definitely goated. It's one of the best, but once again, I'm full. I'm at the buffet. I've had like 6, 7, 8 plates when it comes down to it, representative of years in this case. So we've been eating and eating and eating for quite some time. And I do think with the advancement of technology, with the advancement of everything, that it's definitely time. So I think this could be the swan song Nintendo Direct, where this is the final one, where the Nintendo Switch is the focus. And maybe at the end of the year, we get that big presentation of what's next. That October 2016 trailer, which showed the Nintendo Direct and the whole situation there and the memes and everything that popped up from that. Maybe we get the same thing, obviously with different actors in a different situation, blah, 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 all that good stuff, right? Like maybe we get that at the end of the year, and then bam, 2024, they show off that next system, they have that presentation, or even a direct that's focused on it, and then we get things going for 2024 and what's happening from there. But like I said, with this direct here, I think that this could be great for the next system, or this can just be great in general, because it's just more cherries on top, to me at least. Like I think that this direct, it's just a bunch of cherries on top, like a million cherries, right? Because the Switch library is already full. And even if you look at it, because I've heard some people say, oh, well, you know, there's this game, Final Fantasy, coming out for PlayStation 5. Better have something. Or, oh man, Microsoft, they have so many games coming out. Well, those are 2024. But if you look at it, I mean, really, there's like Spider-Man, there's Final Fantasy, there's Starfield, there's a few other games and everything. But Nintendo's already released so many first-party published titles in the first half. I mean, it already eclipses everything Microsoft and Sony are doing in terms of numbers-wise for the rest of the year combined, with just the first half of this year for the Nintendo Switch. So for me, everything announced at this direct, or whenever they have it, or if they have it, is just cherries on top. It's just the, you know, it's just the perfect ending to whatever they're going to do. So that's my personal feeling on this potential direct, and obviously some things that I think that could be there and everything, but we'll have to wait and see, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that there's going to be a lot of hype when it comes down to whenever Nintendo decides to do something. And of course, we'll have breaking coverage on everything as soon as it goes down. And I am actually working on a couple different things in terms of what we could see when it comes to this next direct. I've been digging a little bit, so we'll see if some of my predictions, when it comes to the actual prediction, when we find out what's going on, we'll see if it actually comes into fruition here before and after. So it should be a lot of fun. But what are your thoughts when it comes to this Nintendo Direct? Is this the swan song direct for the Nintendo Switch? Is there still more to come? Do you think that Nintendo's holding off? What is going on here? Let me know what you think is going on here in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, check out some of our other videos right here on screen, and we will see you for the next one. Peace.